Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing Mono Black Pox. Our goal is to completely lock our opponent out of the game, and we're going to do that with this no reserve list deck that you can build for like $500 to troll your friends. This is an awesome deck that is so fun when it works, and hopefully it'll work in this league. So we have the classic Dark Ritual into Thoughtseize into Hymn to Torok opening. We got the Liliana opening. We've got Karn Sylex, which locks your opponent out of casting Force of Will or fetching lands. Pretty powerful effect, and it can also Pernicious Deed the table if you need to. We've got Crucible of Worlds to run back Wastelands and a Ghost Quarter. We've got Trinisphere to lock our opponent out. Speaking of locking our opponent out, we've got Karn, which can go grab Mycosynth Lattice, Ensnaring Bridge, Liquid Metal Coating, Tormod's Crypt. We also have some main deck Graveyard Disruption in here. Momentum Breaker is a cool one. Your opponent has to sacrifice a creature or discard a card, and you can sacrifice this enchantment for life. Speaking of enchantments, we've got Baraglyphs in here in the sideboard. We can convert into an aggro deck if we need to, and we've got the Bowmasters that can kind of keep us alive and ping our opponents and hopefully make the game go well for us. So we're going to play a full 5 rounds. See you in round 1. Round 1. This hand is fine. This has 2 black sources. It has Smallpox, plenty of lands. I'm going to keep this. Our opponent has Mulligan. We can't do a lot about that if they're on a combo. So my hope is that we can swamp and just chill and that nothing too bad happens. And then we cast a Lockwane, which will enter untapped since we control a swamp. And then we can either Smallpox them and just discard, or get rid of Castle and hopefully get rid of some of their stuff. Or if we need to, we could go after their other lands. So this isn't a super explosive hand, but we don't know what we're up against, so it's fine. This could be Moon Stompy. They mulled the 4 or 5, which it's obviously a Stompy strategy, but I'm just trying to figure out what it likely is. Okay, I think they mulled so deep, I think I'm just going to waste them. Yeah, if they didn't have a 2-drop, who knows? Maybe they don't have any plays for the next few turns. Maybe they're going to be slowly playing out mountains and stuff. I don't know why they wouldn't play out of the mountain if... Oh, no lander. You're about to be punished, friend. I'm not going to try to get cocky here, or I'm going to try to not get cocky, but I think we're in a pretty good position here because like a huge part of our deck is just locking our opponent out from doing stuff, and we're doing it. We don't have a quick way to close. Thoughtseize, I think it's better to just probably, like at this point, just get Bowmasters on the table. Then next turn we can Lily and start discarding them. And then we'll have creatures to block for Lily if we need to. Our opponent was supremely unlucky. So they're at 7 cards. So they have lots of chaff that they're going to be able to discard here. That doesn't change the fact that I am going to go ahead and... ooh, Karn. Is that good? I don't think it really matters. I'd rather get Lily down and just start going to town on their hand. I could have Thoughtseize and then Smallpox, but I don't want to lose my own creature. I think we're both going to discard. Next turn, I could Thoughtseize and Momentum Breaker to make them discard 2 cards. On top of the Lily. They just scoop. They didn't want to show me any more of the deck. Okay, that was good because I forgot to turn on my mic during my deck tech, so I had to come back and do like a live deck tech while my opponent was waiting. So I was running out of time. If it seemed like a brisker deck tech than normal, that's why. Okay, let's take a look at the smorgasbord of interaction we have here. Against the Stompy deck, I think we do bring in the Baraglyphs. I think it's very likely that they're on like Moon Stompy or something. I'm going to take out the Nile Spellbombs. I'm going to take out Trinisphere. It might actually help them. They might be playing Trinisphere themselves. Disruptor Flute's pretty good again if they're on like the One Ring, and they usually are. If your opponent's playing Ancient Tomb, they're probably playing One Ring. I think we keep everything else. Hymn to Torok can be pretty weak against these types of decks because they often unload their hand so quickly. If we took that out and just brought in a couple Disruptor Flutes, that might be better. So we'll still rock the 1 hymn. No, I'm going to cut the hymn too. Okay. We could put the Crucible in the side and then just go get it if we need it. I don't know. It's going to be pretty sweet, like waste locking them. I'm going to cut 8 Thoughtseize on the draw. Is that correct? If we don't get a Dark Ritual hand, Thoughtseize might be all we can do. I'm going to keep it in. I guess 2 Disruptor Flute is probably plenty. Let's do it. And keep in mind, Disruptor Flute does lock out like activated abilities, but it doesn't stop people from casting things if they have 3 extra mana. So it's not like a Meddling Mage plus a Pithing Needle. It's just kind of a Meddling Mage. This hand seems... we can't keep a double Castle Lockthwain hand, I don't think. I'm going to mull. Again, if we mull into like a Dark Ritual... this is the Dark Ritual Ghost Quarter combo. But I think, like, depending on what they do, I'll probably just Dark Rit into... I think I'm going to put back the Disruptor Flute and try to Barrow. Barrow's not going to be very big, though, is the thing, unless they do a lot of explosive stuff. Let's see. Swamp into Dark Ritual into Barrow. So Barrow's like a 1-2. That doesn't seem very strong. I am going to go after the lands here, I think, with the Crucible, because if we draw a Wasteland, then we're not even going after their lands. It's pretty good. Yeah, like, generally, these types of decks don't play Wasteland of their own. So, because it's hard to really splash any colors if you're playing Wasteland and Ancient Tomb and Urza Saga. Preordain? Okay, so they're on a blue deck. Interesting. A Preordain deck that plays Ancient Tomb. They're probably on mono blue, so Ghost Quartering them probably isn't going to do a lot. But I think Barrow Connecting, like these decks are... Oh, we drew another Dark Rit. Okay, let's think about this. We could Dark Rit and Disruptor Flute. I don't think that's correct. I think I'm just going to Dark Rit Barrow. Hopefully they don't have days. Man, if they have days, it's really bad. Actually, I could just Disruptor... So if they're all mono blue, they could have Force. I'm going to Disruptor Flute Force, and that also... Yeah, I'm going to Disruptor Flute Force. They can still cast it, but it costs 3 mana, and they have to pitch. It's the most likely thing. They could have a daze, but I've never seen daze in an Ancient Tomb deck. I just wanted to ensure this resolves. And now, we don't have the mana to cast the Crucible of Worlds, which would have been nice, for sure. But if they're... Like, usually Ancient Tomb decks are monocolor, so I don't think they're going to have planes. They could. Okay, there's the Ancient Tomb. Stock up? Sure. Okay, so they're on Omnishow. Or they could be on Mono Blue Painter. So hitting... If we just Ghost Quarter the land, we're just sitting there. But it does put another type in the graveyard. So we hit harder. And then if we find like a Bowmaster, we could play that. Momentum Breaker is not good here. It makes them discard a card. But that's not a big deal. Now that I know what they're on, Momentum Breaker is probably coming out. And I don't know for certain what they're on, but I suspect that's what they're on. I'm just going to go ahead and Ghost Quarter the land now so I can get more damage. And it's quite likely that this Baraglyph is just going to keep hitting. But the good thing is he'll hit for more next turn. So you're going to go get an island, I presume. Okay, I should have actually done that probably after combat. I didn't realize it came in untapped. I hope that's not an issue. Usually there aren't like mono blue things you can do to screw somebody that's trying to attack you. They could Brainstorm now. Yeah, there's a Bowmaster. That's freaking awesome. We don't have a lot of hits, so we got lucky there. One of the reasons I'm playing 4 Baraglyphs is just to max the likelihood of Baraglyph hitting something in the post-board games. Yep, they got a free Brainstorm, basically. Or they got a free mana for Brainstorm as a result of my punt there. I guess I could have waited till upkeep. Yeah, that's when I should have done that, probably. But, yeah, they would have gotten a free shuffle off their Brainstorm had I waited till upkeep. So, actually, maybe this was fine. Don't have show and tell, please. Okay. That's not show and tell. But they could find an Ancient Tomb and still show and tell here. If they do, I can Momentum Breaker, hoping that it has an impact, but it probably won't. There's the Ancient Tomb. I'm going to Momentum Breaker just in case they play a creature. I would like... Oh, stock up. Yes. They're not ready yet. Really, the best thing I could draw at this point would just be a... high likelihood of that happening. Petal. If they crack that, that makes Goyf even bigger. Wasteland would be the best land. Okay, I'm not going to complain. They can't force this. I'm just going to play it now. Just in case they disrupt it somehow. I think our odds of winning are very low. Because they've seen so many cards. To not have the show and tell would be unlikely. Baraglyph is a ridiculous card. We didn't hit. But we did make our... No, we didn't even change our Baraglyph size. Well, that's an unfortunate thing. But that's pretty typical. when you only have 8 creatures in your deck. We just got lucky with that Bowmasters. Ponder. Okay, this pings them. And it uses up a mana. They were very smart to concede when they did, because had I had any more information, like any of the cards they discarded, if I knew it was blue, it would have completely changed my sideboarding strategy. All right, they got Veil mana now. All right, I'm going to share a theory. My opponent's waiting a very long time to do anything here, and I think what they're probably doing is figuring out whether they can actually survive if they put Emrakul in as their creature, because it will probably maybe involve... Okay, they didn't do anything. What? Okay. So we win? I'm just going to play a pre-combat. They may have Dress Down here. That would actually be really good. But we will get this... Well, if they Dress Down now, we don't get the trigger and they get an extra turn. They Veil this? It's not going to save them. I'm trying to think of why they're still playing the game if they don't have Dress Down. Because I would have Dress Down right there in response. Okay, they scoop. Clean 2-0. We didn't even have to pox them, really. We just got lucky. Game 1. And then game 2, Beargoyf carried, as he often does. See you in round 2. Round 2, we're up against an unknown opponent. I've already burned 5 minutes off my clock because I was like desperately grabbing something to eat. I was so hungry. Oh, no. Is this a keep? This doesn't do anything explosive. We have turned to him into nothing. I think we mulligan this. This seems better. We've got the Waste Lock. We've got him. Opponent was super chill about me keeping them waiting. Hopefully we don't go to time. That'd be embarrassing. I'm going to put back this. I don't want to put back Ghost Quarter if I can avoid it, because I want to Ghost Quarter lock them too. But I think it is correct. We'll put that back. We have one of our recurable lands. It's going to be slow. We're going to start recurring lands on like turn 4. I'm going to play this out. Hopefully they don't have an explosive start. Hopefully him can wreck them a little bit. Mess up their mana. The dream with him is that they don't get to make their land drops, or that they lose one or more lands. Mountain. Pass. Okay. Well, hopefully they're not like an all mountain strategy. Like I'm an all swamp strategy, basically. I doubt they're playing 14 mountains. We did get a mountain. We got a Painter Servant. Okay. That can come back. That is not GG by any means. In terms, like they can bring this back pretty easily later. Ancient Tomb. Okay. We're going to hit that. All right. So they're going to get their dude. We can Momentum Breaker and kill their dude and waste them. I think that's correct. Or we could do the Bowmaster Ping trick. I think that's better. The Bowmaster Ping trick, for those uninitiated, is we wait till upkeep, or we wait till this trigger goes on the stack, and then we just Bowmaster. And then we can ping this, and then they have to choose whether they draw a discard. Because like the first ping hits the Goblin Shaman and then puts them on notice that, hey, if you discard a card here, I'm going to kill your Goblin Shaman and you're not going to get the clue. So they might attack anyway. Are they going to bolt here? Okay, that's fine. They are going to get the clue. We do get the creature. They still can't attack this turn, but they can attack if they want to, kamikaze their Goblin token, but they'll probably just wait for a turn cycle. They're down to 4 cards. They chose not to use it. Why bother killing my thing if you're not going to use it? Okay, Urza Saga. That is going to be a tasty wasteland target. So what I'll do this turn is I'll Momentum Breaker that, and then next turn I'll Crucible into waste. Go ahead and attack me, please. You know you want that tasty treasure token. All right. Okay, so we can Momentum Breaker and Thoughtseize, and I think that's correct. Let's go ahead and Thoughtseize first. Thoughtseize not great against their deck. Okay, Engineer. Easy choice. That was freaking huge. So we got that Engineer out of their hand. That would have been a nightmare. And I bet you... Yeah, like I think it was a huge mistake for them to bolt our creature last turn when they could have just engineered. But I think they had that information at the time. We're going to Breaker. This is my first time to ever cast this card. I'm pretty excited about it. So we get the first top speed. Later we can sack this and gain some life, which might be helpful. I'll just come in for a hug. We are going to be dealing with a Construct, I think, if they find land. That immediately puts it to 2. That's great. Okay. So they're flipping. Urza Saga is going up to 2. If they have a land here, and I think they do. Yeah, they had a mountain. So their hand is Pyroblast and one unknown. So I'm just going to go ahead and start wasting. Yeah, we'll just do this. They are going to get a construct. Yeah, and had I kept, I think it was correct, and like with the benefit of hindsight, my mulligan decision to put the ghost quarter on the bottom. I think they have so many mountains that we were never going to get them out of mountains. So this stops the search, and this means that like, I mean, they can copy it and attack. It's a slow beatdown though, and we can just start doing this every turn. Let's pass. Next turn we can Thoughtseize them, and if we want, we can even gain some life. I'll try to probably do that later, because we could get all the way up to top speed, right? Lava Spur Boots. Okay, that increases the amount of damage they're going to be able to do here. They can pay 1 to equip, and they can attack. Pyroblast when you're not a blue deck is like the most comical thing. I know that like it'll be a pain. Okay, this is a potential issue for sure. So they can get back their painter. So I'm just going to not block. I've got bigger plans for this Orc Army token. If we find a Bowmaster, which is probably the best rip in our deck right now, I'm not going to bother Thoughtseizing if all they have in their hand is Pyroblast. Maybe it does make sense because they could Pyroblast one of my cards, like my Crucible or something. This is a bad rip. I'll bring back the Wasteland for sure. We can't really do anything here. We could attack and then we get the top speed bonus. Is that better than doing nothing? Yeah, the deck sometimes does this. I'm just gonna pass. I don't want to attack again. I think we keep it around. Just, I mean, they're not going to trade. First of all, the damage I don't think matters. We're a prison deck. We need to prison them. Liliana would be okay. I think we really need to draw a Karn here. That's fine. So that means that like this is probably the last time we're going to be able to waste them, because they'll just exile our graveyard once we wasted them. Taking our Bowmaster. None of this stuff matters pre-board, but post-board I am going to bring in the Baragorths against this deck. I think we need to get them done. And by get them done, I mean get them dead quickly, because the game becomes more favored the longer it goes on. Okay, they're not copying it. I'm just going to take it. Smallpox is not atrocious here. We can yeah, upon resolution, we can just put the Wasteland right back into play. Yeah, I think they could create another one. I don't know. I think this is probably the best thing we can do right now. Like what they could do is they could put swap this out for something else. Probably just going to copy a creature and then sacrifice that. But this does take one of their lands away. So what I would do if I were in their shoes is I would weld this into Painter, and then I'd Pyroblast the Crucible. This is targeting. It's hard to tell what's targeting. Here, what is that targeting? I can't tell. Oh, they're just Pyroblasting the spell itself. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry, I'm slow in the uptake today. I guess Thoughtseize would have been smart there. That was a punt. Sorry, my excellent friends. Yeah, I should have Thoughtseize first. There's no reason not to Thoughtseize first. I mean, they probably would have done what they did anyway and just gone after one of my permanents, but at least the, Smallpox would have resolved. Okay. I probably will block here just to save some life. Because if I draw a Smallpox, I definitely want to cast it. Okay, so we can fell the Fable Reflection. I think that's pretty good. I think I'm going to go ahead and start by Dark Ritualing to see what's in their hand. I think I am going to Thoughtseize. I know it puts us closer to death. Actually, are we just dead? We hit this, then they copy, and then I think we're probably just dead. We can gain some life off of this, but I don't think it's... actually, we can't. Oh, I'm glad I took that. Yeah. The frame's not loading with it's a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Fable of the MTGO Breaker. Okay, so I think I will just fell... Oh. Yeah, maybe I couldn't have done what I did. Yeah, I'm just going to concede. I don't think we're going to dig our way out of this. We can gain some life, but it's not enough. Okay. So, Baragorth comes in for sure. I think Disruptor Flute's quite good in this matchup. Now Spellbomb's not atrocious. We don't really have any... Karn Sylex is insane if we draw it. There's Stompy deck, so I'm going to take out Trinisphere. I realize we could have potentially locked them out, but when your opponent has Ancient Tomb, you just don't want to have that card in your deck, frankly. We don't have Ancient Tomb. Like, it's really there for punishing fetch land decks. I do think Smallpox is okay here. I could take out Smallpox, though, because I'm bringing in the Beargoyfs. I mean, they're going to have lots of small creatures and stuff. But they have tokens. I feel like we take this out here. Leave a comment with the timestamp if you strongly disagree with that decision. Crucible of Worlds was okay. I mean, I think we only wasted one card, so maybe it wasn't that great. No, we wasted twice. I'm going to just do... I think maybe 3 is too many in my sideboard. I'm not sure. But it feels like too many. Like neither... Well, the previous round, if I'd known they were on show and tell, yeah, I probably would have had 3 in maybe. So Karn is really, really good if we can defend him. I think Momentum Breaker is probably not that great because it's not targeted, so they can just sacrifice constructs. So I'll leave 2 of them in just out of respect for the fact that we boarded in Beargoyf. Oh, Ghost Quarter can come out. I think it's just not a good card. So we can bring back in one of the Disruptor Flutes. It's worth noting that they can weld the Disruptor Flute out of play. But it is going to be important to be able to stop like Grindstone and stuff. So this is a pretty classic okay hand. Like we Thoughtseize and then we can Flute. We can waste if they have Urza Saga. And well, the important thing Thoughtseize gives you and why it's probably the strongest thing you can do on turn 1 in Legacy right now that doesn't involve, you know, putting like a One Ring into play or something is the strongest fair thing you can do in Legacy right now. It just gives you information to map out the next few turns. All right, so we are going to do the classic Swamp Thoughtseize. If Bosch and Roll has Island Ponder, I get Swamp Thoughtseize. Holy cow. Yeah. I think I'm going to take your Disruptor Flute, and when you play that Welder, he going to die. My opponent might just, like... well, they can't... Yeah. They had a really unfortunate hand. Like, they mulled to 5, and that was their 5. So their hand is Ancient Tomb, Arena of Glory, One Unknown. And we're just going to do the Bowmaster beats. Bowmaster's really good against Painter. It may not seem like it'd be that great, but it is. They do draw cards. And importantly, yeah, I mean, they draw cards off Fable. They draw cards off that Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Lots of stuff. They could have Fury in their deck, for sure. Him, sign me up. Is him hitting, you know, potentially 2 of their lands? I think that's better than Bowmastering here. Yeah, I'm going to do that. You put the him in your deck to cast it, right? Okay, so we got the Ancient Tomb. We got a Simian Spirit Guide. They still have the Arena of Glory. I'll come in for a hug. Next turn we have Disruptor Flute, which I guess I don't know what I'm going to name. If they play Urza Saga, I'll name that. There's the Arena. No plays. Okay. I think I'm just going to waste that. Oh, Castle Locthwain. That's a good card. So we could use it immediately. I think what I do here... I want to get my hand empty so I don't take too much damage from this, but... Arena of Glory could, like, play out a Fury. I think I do want to hit this. Fury would be seriously annoying, but it would be a 2-for-1. They're not going to have the mana. We've already gotten a 2-for-1 off one of these. It would be a 2-for-2, technically. Yeah, Castle Locthwain just low-key being maybe one of the best top decks I can have. All right, so I think I'm probably just going to name Grindstone here just in case, because that would be an embarrassing way to lose, but it is at least 2 turns away, our Death Deal Grindstone. Bury! All right, I'm just going to... I think we bury. They have 2 different types of blasts, so you can't really like name a blast. You can, but you've got like a 50% chance. Okay, I am feeling good. Barry's going to come in, and my Orc Army. Him is a pretty sad rip. I'm trying to play expeditiously, considering that my deck does not usually win this fast. Okay, we get to flip a bunch of stuff. We get another Barry. This game is over. I mean, they could just rip Grindstone. So I think the play is actually just a Disruptor Flute Grindstone. I think if we don't do that, we could just die next turn. That's like their 1 out. Yeah, it would be so embarrassing to lose from this position. I guess I could have waited until it was on the stack. I didn't think about that. They'd need like a Fury. Is that a Fury? That is a Fury. Holy cow. It's a good card. Yep. It's pretty good. Okay, these cards are dead. I think I just attack in, and I'm gonna gain some life, and then I'll just drop the other one. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. They probably will block here. Okay, so we both die. And now Baragoyf found a friend earlier, so that friend is back. Baragoyf, Nekadal Pariah. He's ready for or Baragoyf Vengeant or whatever. Okay, I think that maybe closes the game. The fact that they ripped a land there. I can not do both of these things. I am going to just I guess I activate this. I'm not sure what I could draw. I don't have Fatal Push. Yeah, that's fine. All right, that'll be good next turn. I was thinking like but there's no Fatal Push in my deck, so I wouldn't going to be able to clear a path. All right, they're keeping this around. Baragoyf getting swole. Does not find anything. We got 9 minutes to win the next game. Oh, Leyline of the Void. What does that do for us? I don't think it's good enough. I mean, it's a good... It's an okay card against them, but I don't think it's good enough. I am thinking about taking out him on the draw. Because we've got a lot of 3-drops, and we're not going to want to like Thoughtseize him. Momentum Breaker could come back in. Because Momentum Breaker actually is consequential on a board like that, where they've, you know... And they do dump their hand pretty quickly. Could bring in a couple small pox in. I think I'm going to bring in a Ghost Quarter. And I'll just leave one him in. Let's dance. Okay, so Karn Sylex blows up their board. We could Dark Ritual, Thoughtseize them, Karn Sylex them. They kept their mulligan. I'm going to keep this. If they go all in on... Actually, Karn Sylex sucks, and it's not great against this deck. This may not be a keep. Most of their permanents are like 3 or less. Okay. Let's see what I draw, but I am thinking maybe the Dark Ritual path is fine. Yeah, we've got so many lands. It feels inefficient, but we can't change our mind once we started. And we may need to blow the board up as early as next turn. I think I'm going to slow roll it and get them to play up more permanents. Also, this Dark Ritual can help us cast Fel the Profane. Okay, they have pretty bad... they had the combo, so that's good, but it's not going to be enough. Yeah, let's take the Painter, obviously. Like, you can't have that resolve. I'm not going to take my chances. Like, they might be... Once they have the Painter out, they can interact. They have Pyro and stuff. There's the Mountain. They use different Mountain art, which kind of makes it a little easier to tell. But I believe that was the Mountain that they had. All right, we're getting very lucky against our opponents just having bad draws. Like that was a mold to 6 to the combo, but Karn comes in immediately. Let's see. Do we want a Sylex? I think we just start... Yeah, I think we just get Karn. They have Pyroblast. Karn does like impact their ability to play the game. They have lots of activated abilities in their deck, such as like treasure tokens. So I'm going to go get the blow up your lands guy. Yeah, I think liquid metal coating. I mean, let's see. We're actually... we're not that far from Mycos and Latticing them, which I think would end the game. But I'm going to go ahead and get the liquid metal coating first. This is my first time to ever do this. I've never cast a Karn the Great Creator before, I don't think. So if you're watching, like, oh, let's tune in and watch, seasoned POX player. I have played a lot of POX, but I played the non-Karn version. This is my first time to play the Karn version. Goblin Engineer, that's fine. We can kill that before they can bring back the Painter. And even if they did bring back the Painter, they need to get something that can kill Karn. Let's see what they put in there. We can't Karn Sylex immediately because it comes into play tapped. So I think what I'm going to do next turn is probably waste the city, liquid metal coating, kill one of their lands. We'll see. We'll see what they get. If they put Painter back in, then Pyroblast is really strong. Okay. Oh, what do we do? We can just go get... Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. So I'm thinking instead of liquid metal coating, let's see what we draw. But I could Dark Writ, Fel the Profane, and then I could just go get Tormod's Crypt. Momentum Breaker is pretty damn good too. So we could just Ritual, liquid metal coating, and Momentum Breaker, and waste them. Yeah, I think that's good. No, wait, this This costs 5 mana to unearth. They're not going to likely have that much mana. Okay, so let's go ahead and Dark Ret first. Let's go ahead and Momentum Breaker. I'm pretty stoked about this. Momentum Breaker comes in, they sack their 1 creature. Now we Liquid Metal Coating. Let's go ahead and tap this mountain down. Let's plus. Let's waste. Absolute devastation, friends. You seeing this? Ancient Tomb. Okay, they got 4 mana. They need 1 more to get Dragon Engine back, right? Simian Spirit Guide. What? They know this is the fight. All right. Okay, let's think about this. So we just fell to Profane it. We don't have the mana. I don't want him hitting our dear friend Karn. I guess we could let him hit Karn for a turn. It's not a big deal. They're going to be like permanentless. And then we can just deal with this guy later. We can sacrifice this at any point. Currently, we only get 1 life. Yeah, I'll just wait. I'm not going to use this Felder Profane just in case we find like a Dark Ret. Maybe I should have played it out because I could have Karn Sylexed. I could just stand up my Liquid Metal Coating to trade with that. Or I could stand up Karn Sylex. Or I could just Lily and make him sack it, yeah. I would like to pay the 3 life. Lily. Yep, that's it. And we would have just started attacking them. That's our win con with Karn. Just attack them with whatever we have, like this Liquid Metal Coating. It would have taken a while, but it was unlikely they were going to dig out of that. That felt amazing. See you in round 3. All right, round 3, we're up against fellow Fair Gamer and San Diegoan, Luggy SD. This hand is okay. We may never draw the land that goes with Crucible. It's definitely like a later game draw. I'm inclined to keep just because it's like a Bowmaster hand with a Nile Spellbomb. Like it covers a lot of bases. It's around blue-black tempo. This might be okay. Momentum Breaker. Oh, Scribbleland. All right, I had to check to make sure they weren't like on an 80 card deck. No, this is just a black-white strategy that, oh, that's nice. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there, and we're just going to curve out like a standard deck. But don't be afraid to play those. I mean, like the straight mono black aggro deck that I've been playing lately is just, it shreds. And it's just like a standard deck, basically. Like half the cards are probably in standard. Certainly in modern. Okay. That is very good. So, options. 1, we could just Dark Ret, Lily, start discarding stuff. We're not yet to a point where we can discard a land, unfortunately, because I would like to start recurring with Crucible. I do think we do it. No, there's a very high likelihood they have a Bowmasters, and if I plus, then they attack, they ping her and they attack for 2. Then our Bowmasters comes down, defends her. We could just Momentum Breaker to force them to discard, or we could just hang back and just Bowmaster with a Nile Spellbomb up. I think the graveyard is not going to matter here, so I think I am going to go ahead and do that play where I do this and then I just draw off the Nile Spellbomb. Lily ticking up on our side of the table is probably worth it. Also, how awesome is this retro art one? I love this. I hope they give this treatment to the other planeswalkers. I suspect Bowmasters in hand. So the discard is going to be... I mean, I hate to... I think it is probably Momentum Breaker. It's a mediocre card, frankly. They haven't played any early pressure. They discard a Plow. Okay, that's great. So what are they playing if they don't have any creatures? Is Felia coming in? Felia. Oh, Felia. All right. Yeah, there's nothing I'm going to draw here, but I am going to go ahead and just do the graveyard thing now because I don't want them to have Bowmasters next turn. Do another Swamp. Okay, I should have probably discarded the Crucible. We can minus to kill Felia, but she'll have done damage by then. And also, it's possible they have like a Bowmasters or something. Liliana is not a fan of Bowmasters because it's... Yeah, that's pretty brutal. So the Thought Seizing, taking our Bowmasters almost certainly. They got scared and took the Crucible. We don't have a Wasteland. They have a Wasteland, though. Okay, I don't know why they took the Crucible there. They must have a Bowmasters to answer our Bowmasters. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me. They could exile her, or they could just attack her. They attack her, then she has to sacrifice herself to kill Felia, and it doesn't necessarily work because of Bowmasters. I suspect they have Bowmasters in hand. Yeah. I don't even know if I'm going to minus. I think I'm just going to plus. I've got a bunch of redundant swamps in hand. I'm going to play the swamp, and I'm going to plus her. And then we'll just Bowmasters to block because we're not doing anything over here. No reason to play a Bowmasters now. What I can do is I suspect they have Bowmasters, but I don't care. Like, Bowmasters doesn't affect my deck. It doesn't really affect their deck either. They may do it pre-combat. Okay, so I am going to... They're just blinking nothing. I am going to play the first Bowmasters here. Then I imagine they ping it. But, yeah, there's ping here. So I think they're going to probably ping when I block, but what they don't know is I'm going to double block because I don't even care about the Bowmasters. I just want to keep the Lily on. Is this correct? Yeah, I think we double block here. And it may seem cowardly, but we just need to make sure that they can't Bowmaster and stop us. Lily is a heck of a creature. I'm sorry, Felia is a heck of a creature. Lily just looks like a creature because they gave her the retro frame treatment. She's actually a planeswalker. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just plus. Maybe it's better to just see what I draw first. I'm not sure how this would affect things. No, yeah, I'm going to plus. I will always plus. Oh, wait, I could have played out this land. I totally freaking spaced on the fact that I could have played out a land. That was really dumb. Sorry, my excellent friends. I could have just went totally hellbent. Okay. Yeah, that was bad. Okay. So this is probably... Maybe this is a Bear Glyph matchup. I don't know. There's another Felia. I'm going to go ahead and just do this now. So they're tapping out. I would have 2 mana, so I'd be able to cast a Bowmasters that I'm almost certainly going to draw now. Okay, Wasteland's not that bad. Yeah. And so next turn I can waste one of their scrubs. They're down to 1 card, but they are going to be attacking our Lily. It'll take them a few turns, but they will eventually clear her. Badlands? Okay, I'll be wasting that instead. I'm just stunned that they haven't had a Bowmasters. I feel extremely lucky. This whole league has been beset by luck, not by iniquity. Okay. This is going to feel good. Let's go ahead and do this. Oh, no. Oh, I freaking missequenced. Oh, I'm sorry, my excellent friends. I am so sorry. That was... I'm just so tilted that I screwed that up. I need to get my head on straight. I just needed to... Yeah, sorry. I have no excuse. Now I can't even kill the Felia. We just have to draw a removal spell. Oh, I punted so hard. Twice in a row. Don't ever let anybody tell you I'm a good player. All right. So I'm not going to make this mistake again. I mean, she's dead, but at least she's going to take a card out of their hand and distract for 1 more turn cycle. Dotsies? Yeah. Okay. So like they are very favored now because we would have taken one of their lands. We don't care about our lands. We would have taken their creature. Like this would have totally changed the course of the game. I mean, I could draw like a Karn right now. Maybe that would be good. I'm not sure what I could draw. That's not it. We're just going to F6. This is going to be a grindy one. Unnecessarily grindy. I'm going to stop kicking myself, but it's just, I feel so... All right. I'm not going to screw this one up. Wait. I'm going to Dark Writ first. No reason to, but like, heaven forbid they have some sort of like counter target spell unless its opponent, pays 5. If they have like the Bowmaster now, it's a kick. Because they can just sack the construct and then they can start, Felia Bowmaster stuff. Yeah, that would make sense for them to have that. Cling to Dust, sure. I mean, that just means they're going to have to discard that. Okay. So, our plan is working. They're hellbent. Their color screwed off of their splash color. They have Cling to Dust in the yard, but they don't have the mana to use it. Fellow Profane will remain in our hand. It will be a decent card later. They rip another Felia. If we rip another Swamp, which we almost certainly will. I should have definitely played this before I cast her, by the way. They don't have red up, but that would have been very embarrassing if they're like, oh, you're playing a land. I will, with that trigger on the stack. Actually, I don't think it uses the stack. Never mind. We'll both discard. Do you have a Bowmaster? We've just gotten extremely lucky that they haven't had Bowmaster this entire game. They've seen 17 cards. Okay, now they have mana to start flashing back Cling. I think it's 4. so they can start drawing cards and getting ahead that way. I'm going to go ahead and play this out. All right. Do you have a flash threat? And if they start playing out non-flash threats, like I can just kill them with Lily and then keep plussing. Emperor, pretty good card. I'm going to kill it. Wait, can they put this? Yeah, they could actually, I think, do the thing with it. Like, beginning stuff. Let's see. Yeah, they could do it and they could immediately attack Lily. It's pretty good. And that means that Lily has to minus to kill this. Otherwise, she's dead the subsequent turn. That was a very strong play. Thoughtseize. Let's go ahead and look at their hand, I guess. Oh, yeah. Definitely want to discard that. And now we're just going to make them sack this Emperor. Otherwise, there's no benefit to waiting around. So they've cleaned the Dust Engine. We have nothing. The clocks are about even. They're about 1 minute ahead. I'm just going to F6 through the next few turns. They kept. I'll Thoughtseize it, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it could be another Overlord. A lot of Thoughtseizes this game. Then the end step, they can go ahead and do that. Cling again. Get another card. So Cling is very good against our deck. Like, it's not a great card in general, in my opinion, but it lines up very well with what we're doing. We're just trying to grind you out and keep you at 0 cards. So the best draw is probably Karn, so we can start blowing up lands. Okay, Kitramos. They have plenty of stuff in exile, so they get the very powerful ability. We're dead to this. We're dead to this. I'm not going to play anymore. There's no way we're catching up with that thing. I guess technically we could have drawn a Lily, but it didn't feel likely. Against them, I think Baragorf could be okay. I think Spellbomb doesn't belong here. They do technically have some graveyard type tech, but it feels bad. Yeah, I think Baragorf is way better. We were kind of drawing to Karn the entire time. Did they fetch? I don't think they fetched that much. I'm kind of thinking Karn Sylex might not be good here. They saw the Crucible. I think I take it the Crucible and the Ghost Quarter. They're not using any like special tech lands. And that brings us to 60. That feels like a strict upgrade. Let's do it. Even though they're an aggro deck, I'm going to keep the Thoughtseize in. On the draw, I might take it out. This is Dark Ritual into Karn Sylex. If they have a fetch as their only land, we just completely destroyed them. If they don't, we don't have a lot going on. I'm going to risk it. I imagine they're playing like maybe 8 fetches. I could be wrong. They have a Caracas. It's a pretty good land. A lot less scary when your opponent is not playing Yorion. Another great thing about this is you can just wipe all their... It's like a Wrath of God effect later. They had a natural scrubland. Looking for a small pox. I'll go ahead and Thoughtseize them here. Okay, they do have a Marsh Flats that we've locked in their hand. That's great. Prismatic Ending is going to take a while to arrive. Disruptor Flute could name Karn. I think we just take the Bowmasters because that's something they could like reasonably cast over the next few turns. Baragorf is definitely the scariest thing here. Yeah, and Ketramos is never going to come online because we're not going to exit out of their graveyard. That's one reason not to play. Okay, I'll play a land too. That's one reason not to play Nile Spellbomb is if your opponent is, Ketramosing and stuff, you don't want to like turn on Ketramos. Oh, they found a bog. They found a bog. So I'm glad I took the Orcish Bowmaster. We might get lucky and they may not find like a third, non-fetch land. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and just start taking up Lily here. They will... Ooh, that's... Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think about that. Yeah, they can do that. This will get blown up later. So I'll just leave Lily here for now. Yeah, I still think it was correct to take the Bowmaster. If they somehow get Baragorf on the table, Momentum Breaker should be good. They found the third land. They're so lucky. Oh my goodness. What are the odds that they don't draw fetches when they're playing probably like 8 or, maybe 7 or 8? I don't know. I'm sorry. Like my opponent's very chill. Like I don't want to sound like a whiner, but like it is very lucky that they drew exactly lands that they could use. There's the Barrow. So we'll Momentum Breaker, but then they've got Ketramos next turn. They're very close to being able to end this if they find one more land. It's very scary, but I don't want to turn on the Marsh Flats. I don't know. Maybe it makes sense to just go ahead and... I can't Karn for the full value. Yeah, I'm just going to Momentum Breaker them. And I am going to play this land, the Felder Profane. Kedramos. Yeah, because I don't think they're likely to waste it. If they waste it, it's actually really good for me. I mean, one more land and it's a removal spell. No, I'm gonna hold on to it. I think next turn I can pop the Disruptor Flute. There she is. She's indestructible, but she doesn't do anything right now. Okay, so we just need to Felder Profane here. Smallpox, you can... Wait, she's not a creature. Okay. Wait. No, she's still a creature. Yes! Okay, cool. All right, so I think, yeah, we're just going to discard the Redundant Lily. I might as well... Well, I'll just hold this. Has a good rip. They have to sacrifice a land, but those are sacrifice the Marsh Flats. Yeah, I probably should have played out the Felder Profane just so I didn't have to sack a swamp there. Okay, so this goes up to level 2. And we'll just pass. Yeah, we don't actually have anything going on our side of the table, really. I guess I could have played that out. I might need a third land next turn. They still have access to 3 mana here. 2 Prismatic Endings in hand. I'm going to play this out. And then we're just going to Smallpox them again just to get more mana. If they play out some 2-drop, I probably will actually go ahead and just hit this so I can start using Lily again. Well, that's a good reason not to. They have 2 cards left. Yeah, but they get Prismatic Ending online. I'm going to be patient. I'm already at max speed. I guess I'll just do this to gain life. I don't think it matters. Okay, wow. So they have Prismatic Ending now, but they only have 2 colors. So they actually, Prismatic Ending, they can't hit my... Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do, I'll gain some life. Now, next turn, I'm going to Karn Sylex and I'm going to start minusing. Or plussing. See what we draw here. Okay, let's think about this. So we could just waste here, then Karn, and then they have to discard. Yeah, I'm going to try that. I think it's time. So we know they have Prismatic Ending, but they don't... Actually, they do have access to their 3rd color. Yeah, I didn't think about that. They do have a 3rd color in their deck. I should have wasted this. That was dumb. That was dumb. Oh my goodness. So the last card is... Oh wait, they pitched a Prismatic Ending. Maybe they don't have it? Okay. Oh, this is max speed. I thought 3 was max speed. I could have gained an extra life. Well, I was going to pop those Sylex anyway. Okay, so I guess we don't have to worry about Prismatic Ending. Okay, so this is going to get the red source if they have a Prismatic Ending, and then they can get my Lily. I misplayed this so badly. They didn't get a red source. Interesting. Skyclave, that kills her. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Karn Sylex, I guess. So we will get a 3-drop that we can beat them with. I'll see what I draw, but I might just go ahead and do that. I can only do this during my turn. They do have Felia to blink. If we just wait a turn... Yeah, they may Felia now, which would be catastrophic. I mean, they could Felia my token too. I just don't think there's a lot of tactical value to keeping that around. Okay, so we do get the creature. I'm going to just hold my swamp for information purposes. Maybe they Thoughtseize. They do have probably 4 Thoughtseizes in their deck. I think it's extremely unlikely this illusion goes all the way, but Baragorf would be like a really legit draw at this point. Amp. They're going to bring back Skyclave. What are they going to bring back? I can't attack. This card is so cracked against us. That's a barrel. Going to be able to bring it back for a swing. Quite strong. I'm going to chump this. I don't want them getting the ability. They already have a 4/4 anyway. I'm going to play my own barrow. And I'm going to continue to hold this swamp until I need it. They're not playing Daze. That's a powerful top deck. Now they can hit for 4. We have tons of life. We've got 3 more barrows kicking around. There we go. Do you have another miracle top deck to stop this? No? Oh, they could have freaking, Solitude. Oh, or that. Yeah, this is... I don't think we made a mistake popping the thing when we did. Because they would have just, blinked this. That's an embarrassing draw. I guess I'll play this out just in case. I don't know. I'm not going to bother with this. Yeah, this is not a favorable matchup by any means, but still, I think like punting game 1 means we don't get game 3. We would have probably won game 1. Good game. Technically I have 1 more draw. What are the odds it matters? I can tell you that the odds of I don't think the Trinity, like, I can only draw one card per turn, so it doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and play that out. I don't think there's any one card I could draw. Like, I could draw Beargoyf, and that could block, and maybe that would be good enough, because I would gain some life when they attacked. Okay, good game. I'm not beating Overlord. All right, well played. As always, Log SD, let's jump into round 4. All right, round 3. We're up against a likely kind of Tron 12 post type player. We have a Wasteland hand with a Thoughtseize and a Smallpox. I think we keep this. The Trinisphere is embarrassing against their deck. I'm probably just going to discard it to a Smallpox. I don't think we have a good matchup against them unless we can find the Crucible. Urza's Workshop into Manifold Key. So I'm just going to Thoughtseize here. See if we can take a Monolith. Mitigate their mana explosion over there. Okay. Monolith is a card we can take, but there's also a freaking One Ring over here. If we take the One Ring... okay. No, we have to take the Grim Monolith and let them have the One Ring. That sucks. That really sucks. Hopefully they play out this Grim Monolith. Or, I'm sorry, the Defense Grid. I was like, for a second, did I take the wrong card? No. They play a Defense Grid. It's great for us. Like Urza Saga Defense Grid. Then we're not going to be able to get them to discard the One Ring. Yeah, we don't care about Defense Grid. I think we just waste... I think we do waste the Urza Saga just in case they top deck like some crazy land. And then we Smallpox 2 turns in a row. Yeah. I mean, this represents 2 lands, but like if they do get an Ancient Tomb... Actually, yeah, maybe we do hit this. And yeah, because this, potentially could tap for 2 mana next turn. They have Metalcraft. If they create a token, that's actually fine for us because we have a Smallpox. We've actually got lots of creature removal. I don't think we're going to be able to stop them, unfortunately. I think they will eventually just draw so much mana that they'll be able to stop us. There's the Ancient Tomb. That sucks. That really sucks for us. Okay, so we're going to start the Smallpoxes. By all means, you can create that. Let's sack it. You did 2 damage to yourself completely unnecessarily. I don't have any confidence that Trinisphere is going to do anything here. I'm going to ditch it. They're down to 1 card. So they have Ancient Tomb, One Ring. If they draw like a freaking Ancient Tomb, they win. Because of the damn One Ring. If they draw a Monolith, they don't immediately win. Okay, I'm going to hope that the Smallpox hits them really hard. We could get them Hellbent. I think it might actually be worth it. No, because I need a discard card so I can keep a Swamp around for next turn. Yeah, so I'll discard the Dark Rit. They discard Ugin, so they still, have the out of getting One Ring going. We do have 4. Yep. Their hand is completely known. It's One Ring. They have no mana. We can make them discard the One Ring. I think that's probably actually the correct play here. Yeah, it's the only play really. Get that One Ring out of your hand, and and this is why I like this card so much. Not only does it gain you life, but it's like it's always live. Unless they have no cards and no creatures, they are going to have to discard. Wait. They should have to discard. Is that bugged? Oh, they discarded the One Ring. Do they have 2 cards? Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure I wasn't like crazy here. Okay. And now I think we can kind of take over the game because we can just make them discard every turn, but they will eventually find land. We'll, cut their permanents in half. Crucible or Karn. Lots of things we could draw. Karn Sylex. Let's do it. Yeah, that's a very good card because we can blow up their board. Another Ugin in their hand. I do not like that card. I don't like this entire archetype. I think I've said many times, like, I don't want to seem too like a sore winner here. But, like, it's not fun to play against somebody who's basically just playing lands and, like, ticking up toward, like, incredible cards that effectively in the game. So this is what Disruptor Flute's for. They're not going to use their graveyard for anything, so that's an easy out. Trinisphere comes out, for sure. Do you want to bring in Beargoyf to accelerate? I think we probably do. You might be asking, like, why don't you just bring in Beargoyf every time? You're bringing him in a lot. Yes, I am. I think him is fine. I don't think Momentum Breaker is necessary. I mean, it's not like a dead card, but Bowmasters is good precisely because they play... having Karn main deck is really strong too. But I think we take out the Momentum Breakers. We have Smallpox, which can clear creatures, and we have the Fell the Profane. They're not going to go after our lands at all. I think Smallpox is worth it just because it hits a land. And their entire deck is built around getting lands into play or artifacts. I could go down to 3 Barrows. Because we have lots of other good turn 1 cards that can come out Dark Root. Yeah, I think that's fine. Which would I rather have, a Lily or a... I think I'd actually rather have Baragorth than Lily. So I'm going to take out a Lily. Also, you can get as many Baragorths into play as you want. You can only get 1 Lily out. So drawing redundant Lilies is not great. I've never beaten a resolved Eye of Ugin. Or Ugin Eye of the Storm, rather. Eye of Storms. Is a freaking cracked hand. Absolutely cracked. I think we just turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Karn. Hopefully we get a turn 3. They mulled a 6. We have to take the KO spell out of their hand. I mean, their deck is all just Haymakers. It's just lands and Haymakers. I would be totally fine with a Wasteland draw here. Smallpox, not really what we're looking for. So we're just going to do that play I said. Again, next turn, we have access to Karn. Turn 2 Karn against an artifact deck is not nothing. Surgical Extraction. Interesting. Mystic Forge doesn't come out next turn. Eye of Ugin Ugin, Eye of Storms is actually a bigger problem long term than Mystic Forge is because Karn actually doesn't stop it. It just turns it off. You can't tap it. I think we do have to go after Mystic Forge here. And then we just have to hope that we can blow up their lands faster than they can get an Ugin out. They have... Okay, so if you look at their hand, they have turn 3 freaking Ugin. That is disgusting. So what they can do is they can play... this Urza's Tower, and then they can play their Nexus. So we're going to have to start probably smallpoxing them. Yeah. But I'm not going to let them have Mystic Forge. Sure. Pay 2 life and go down a card for no reason. I think Surgical Extraction should not be in your deck. I think it's the most overboarded card in like Magic the Gathering or Legacy history. I don't even think it's a Legacy playable card, frankly. I don't know why people are boarding it against me. So they do get to see our deck. And they did get to exile the Thoughtseize. Okay. Next turn, they have tons of mana, and we really do, we have to Smallpox here. They'll probably sack the Tomb. What I really want to draw is just I guess a second Dark Ritual. That wouldn't be it. No, I'm not even sure what I could draw here. So if we go get Karn, this exiles things that are 1 or more colors. So the problem is, even if we needle this with let's see. So this would become an artifact. We're not even close to Mycosynth Lattice, unfortunately. Yeah, we just have to Smallpox. And then next turn, we can do the Dark Ritual play. I guess I'll pitch a Sylex. I think it's worth keeping Castle Locthwain around. So this is going to kill one of their lands, and we just have to hope they don't find another. Okay, and now they still have 4 mana. So they could Mystic Forge if they draw another one. But I just can't have them Eye of Ugin and just leaving that in play forever. Like, we could attack it, but +2, you draw a card. Like, that's really strong. Okay, they did find something here to do. Is it One Ring? It's Karn the Great Creator. Okay. As long as they don't have another land, I think we're okay. But they could go get, Needle and Needle Archon. They've seen him. It'll be interesting to see what they get. If they get something, they could potentially, play it out and attack my Karn next turn. But they won't be able to activate. And I don't care about activating artifacts generally. They do. It's a huge part of what their deck does. Okay, Lodestone Golem. That can't attack next turn. So I can just go get... Oh! I think... Gosh, I want to take this out really badly. Let's think about this. If we take out the Planar Nexus, they have 1 mana. They can't cast the Lodestone Golem, but they do get another activation. They might have an artifact land they can get. And then we could just do our thing the subsequent turn. I think it pays to be patient here. If we take, yeah, they're equally likely to draw Urza's Tower and Planar Nexus. I think we do go after the Nexus. It sucks to leave them in play for a turn. If they just draw another one, it's GG. Urza Saga, scary card, but it's not. And I am glad I took the Planar Nexus. Okay, they're minusing here. The best draw in our deck is now Bowmasters. Liquid Metal Coating. Okay. Yep, they can do that starting next turn, but I can do the same thing. Actually, no, I think it's too late. I think I have to draw a land every turn if I want to be able to keep up with their Karn. That is brutal. I didn't think about the fact that they could do that immediately. Yeah, that sucks. Good game. I don't think we win anymore because they can just do this every turn. We would have to draw. So they got the combo first. We could Karn Sylex, and then maybe we can blow stuff up. Like if we draw another Dark Rit. I'm not going to give up. I probably should give up. Let's see. Okay, let's think about this. We had the mana floating. We could hymn them. Take out those cards. They're gonna blow up our land. I think we just hold the hymn in case we draw another land and we don't have anything else to do. Oh, I can't activate this. Because of Karn. Yeah, it was a punt to play it out, I think. I'll play it out. I mean, it does shut off maybe nothing in their deck. Yeah. So what we have to do now, for those of you following along at home, in our desperate ritual here of playing against 12 Post, who's apparently they have Karn supremacy. I'm just going to go to the next game. This is kind of interesting, but like I'm getting server lag, and I don't want to run out of time. I've got 13 minutes. Okay, it finally subsided, and that's not server lag. That's my connection issue. Okay, if they find a land, I think I'll concede, but I might keep playing if they don't. Okay. So we would have to draw land and Bowmasters. I don't think there's a way we can do this anymore. They're going to lose this land, but like Disruptor Flute's too late. That would have been great last turn for sure. Good game. So had I just held the freaking, I didn't think about that, but like I could have absolutely just needled Karn. It would have screwed me too. But like Dark Ritual into Needle, or right there during the it just didn't occur to me because I'm inexperienced with this deck. But I should have just held the thing, the Dark Rit. I don't think we were going to win that game anyway, but that was a punt, and I feel obligated to acknowledge every single little punt. Don't let yourself get away with anything. Legacy is not a format where you can let things slip. Momentum Breaker can't hit Planeswalkers. That's kind of the trade-off. That's why not everybody's playing Momentum Breaker. I think we just run it back. We're on the play this time. I think this is a trap hand. I don't think it's good enough. Like, we waste a couple turns, but like, so what? Like, I don't know. I guess we could castle, and then next turn we could potentially flute. But what will we even name? And then Karn Sylex to mop up their permanents, assuming they don't already have a Karn by then. The Smallpox is kind of trolling me. The fact that we don't have a second Black Source. But I think that we're actually pretty likely to draw a Black Source. We've got 16 Black Sources. Well, no, if you include, it's like 20 Black Sources. And even if we're not, we're potentially wasting them. I think I'm going to keep. Like, just sometimes you can just waste them enough that they can never get their game plan going. Like before you close. I mean, you do only have so much time. Maybe they do something to give away what's in their hand so I can successfully disrupt or flute something. Manifold Key. I mean, I could just needle that. But I'm probably going to be blowing up this Karn Sylex. I think it's correct to go ahead and just waste this land. And then we'll probably draw a land in time to Sylex something else. Because a lot of times they have like this. And okay, so now they can play the actual thing. And then they have all the mana they need. Yep. So we need the Karn Sylex. So a Dark Ritual would be strong. But it's still going to be a turn cycle before we can use it. Okay, so they have 6 mana now. 5 mana. Karn. So we can just disrupt Karn. But that doesn't stop the fact that they have tons of mana. And that they're getting a free card off this. And even if they... Let's see. If they get Liquid Metal Coating. Yeah. Like we can needle that. But they can still... Yeah, I think we... I want to needle Karn. But then they can just Liquid Metal Coat that. The other option is we just Bowmaster them. But we will definitely lose a land. I think we wait until they Liquid Metal Coat and then we Bowmaster. Instead of... Because we're going to lose a land. But then we can potentially beat down Karn. The other option is we just waste. Then we lose. They won't have any mana if they don't have another land. That's like the YOLO thing. I think it's extremely likely they have another land. But this untaps, this does not. So they need like an initial mana to kick this off. We could just wait and Disruptor Flute. We can see what they do. We could Disruptor Flute when they kick out the thing. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Because they're going to do the thing first. And it just shuts it off until your next turn. Okay, so they can shut it off. They can shut off our land anyway. I think I just want to... I'm going to let them do this, and then I'm going to kill the Karn. And I'm going to sacrifice the land. No, they're plussing. Oh, they're plussing. I didn't think about that. So Karn is going to survive here. Yeah. So I get a ping, and then I get to attack, but we lose our sole black source. So I think I punted. Trying to think of what I could even draw here. Like I don't have double black for Pox, which wouldn't even be a good play. They could just stand up a blocker in front of this, and then I have to attack with both and into that blocker, and eventually they will play additional land. They did have another land, so I can waste this, but they'll have the mana, so I think I need to waste the Urza's Saga, and that means that I'm not doing anything else to affect the board because I won't have any mana. There's our own Karn. I think we lost this one. Yeah, I think I just punted. I don't think that we were in a strong position anyway, because let's say hypothetically we Disruptor Flute the Karn. Then they can't plus, but they still lock us off mana. We Disruptor Flute the Liquid Metal Coating. They still have Karn to like do other things. They could just stand up the Liquid Metal Coating and start attacking us. Yeah, leave comments with timestamps if you think there were like lines with the cards. Like take a good look at my hand and the board state like 2 turns ago, and you know, was there a path through? They have 4 unknown cards. They have tons of mana. I don't think we're winning this game, frankly. I think our odds, even if I had played perfectly, from keeping, maybe it was a mole, but from keeping, I think we were probably 10% to win based on what they played. So we've got a fun round. I'm having a great time. I hope you are too. Final round, we're up against the big bad of the format, Blue Black Reanimator. On the play, Karn Sylex is potentially really strong here, but it comes down turn 3 without the Dark Rit. We Thoughtseize, take the Entomb. Smallpox, if they play like a Tomio or something like that, I think this is a keep. You can't really mull too aggressively against them because they also have a tempo plan. They just trophied like a couple days ago. They got a lot of creatures in the deck, including Oculus. So Swamp Thoughtseize, let's take a look. They do have the Entomb, so we'll just take that. They are welcome to Thoughtseize this a bunch. But yeah, I always take the Entomb because it's the most powerful card. Like they can put some fatty in the yard and then it just sits there for the rest of the game. It's not fun. Also worth noting, Karn Sylex is not going to be good here. Like they don't have a single fetch, which is just bad luck for us because like their deck probably plays like 8 fetches and only like 4 fetchables, 5 fetchables. So, well, 7 technically, if you count the basics. Okay, so they're going to Thoughtseize. They're going to take our Thoughtseize probably. I don't know what else they would take. The rest of our hand's pretty bad. We stop the big broken thing that they do. I'd like to Thoughtseize them and take the Ponder as well. Maybe they get scared and take the Sylex. But I don't think it's good here. They did indeed take the Thoughtseize. There's no point in smallpoxing here. I'm just going to play a land and pass. They have a Wasteland, so the Fell the Profane has to come out later. It'll be the last one we play. If I draw another Swamp, I'll just play that. And I'd like to not take 3, but I will take 3. But we can probably trust that whenever we play it out, it's going to be wasted afterward. All right, they're pondering. I expect them to waste to Thoughtseize this again here. Wait, they already used their Thoughtseize. Okay, I don't think that I saw 2 Thoughtseizes. I can't remember whether they, wait. Actually, I can look. Yeah, they had 2 Thoughtseizes. Okay, so this is the second Thoughtseize. Nothing I can do about this. Their hand is basically unknown at this point. 3 unknown and a waste. I think they probably take Karn. It's the most impactful thing, even though it's a couple turns away. They may not draw another Thoughtseize in time. Okay, they took Fell the Profane, so Dark Rit is still alive. Dark Rit into Karn would be fine with me. Castle Lochthwain is going to most definitely get wasted. I'm just going to play out the Sylex. This shuts off Force. It technically shuts off Gristlebrand if they're playing Gristlebrand. All right. I feel very confident that... and this is not paying life, so this doesn't have Disenergy with Karn. You just lose the life. All right. And they've wasted us, and now we know nothing about what they're doing over there. All I know is that Dark Ritual would be really good here, I think, unless they have a Daze. It's like a Swamp. All right, this is the... Oh, Brazen Borrower. Yeah, that's fine. Ponder. I think it's only a matter of time before they assemble Entomb Reanimate. This is their turn to fetch if they have it. They just naturally had another Underground Sea, which may mean that like we actually do succeed in shutting off some fetches here. I'm just going to Sylex again. If they want to daze this, they can. They force it. I guess they're not going to force anything else. Yeah, that is very good for us. Like Tomio would have been kind of a pain. Down to one card. No reanimation targets. So reanimate is a dead draw if they find it. I'm just going to Momentum Breaker this Brazen Borrower if that's what they're doing. Well, Oculus. Yeah, that's a good card. Oh my goodness. It's so good against us because, yeah. Oh my goodness. We need to draw a land so we can Momentum Breaker and Smallpox in the same turn cycle. Otherwise, we're going to die to this thing. Land, please. Oh, so lucky. So lucky. Don't have a Daze as your last card, please. They had Bowmasters under that. That's good to know about. One less thing to worry about here. Let's pox it up. Don't have Daze. Oh, so good. Yeah, we have to discard the Karn, but it's a small price to pay, frankly. There was the alternative, like Dark Retreat, but the Karn would not have survived. I think we probably just get rid of Wasteland. We need our mana more than they do. We could take... Actually, I think I'll take them off land. Because we could waste them, and then we don't have the Sylex anymore. We have a lot higher curve than they do. I think I'm going to sack a swamp, and then I can waste them. Okay, and then we can strand this in exile. We'll eventually work through all their lands. So they have 2 of their, 7 lands in exile. They've been a reanimate, it looks like. I don't know when that reanimate hit. They did find a land here. I'm just going to go ahead and fire off on one of their lands. They're Hellbent. Just to keep them from being able to play this out. They could tempo me. Okay, this gives us max... We're almost at max speed where we get 4 life. They have a second Undercity Sewers. So they may have more fetchables than normal if they're playing 2 Undercity Sewers. There's a Brainstorm. Looking at 3 cards. Do they find the fetch to shuffle? They have a Tommy. That's very good. Can we find a removal? We cannot. Okay, so we're just going to sit here and they're going to accrue advantage and the game's going to end. Also, reanimate on Oculus would be a pretty big beating if they can do that. Okay, let's Smallpox. If they have a... Yeah, I'll just Smallpox. They will eventually run out of lands. Opting to fetch first and crack a clue just in case they find like a... I don't know what they'd find. They shouldn't do it. They might have to discard. Oh, they're going to... Oh, that works. That works. Yeah, they had the mana to do that. Okay, so they can sack the Borrower instead. Yeah, and like Reanimate is just really strong here. If they find it. Let's go ahead and play this out. I kind of punted in that I didn't... Like, this can deal with their clues, by the way. This also deals with the Planeswalker side. They crack a clue. Yeah, I should have broken this Momentum Breaker a few turns ago. There's no advantage to like keeping it around after you hit max speed. You just gain the life. I had mana up. I think I probably am going to just crack it this turn cycle because I want to get rid of those clues. Oh, if I find like a... Oh, so good. This is perfect. Bowmasters. Oh, yeah, I can blow all this stuff away later. They ping us. Yeah, we're going to lose some life. They're going to lose a card. They still have the discard Animate Dead. Again, like, still kicking myself for not Momentum Breaker. I've just been drawing gas. I mean, like, we're on the ropes. Make no mistake. We're going to probably lose this game. But, yeah, because I'll be able to hit these as well. Like, if they find a Brainstorm, it doesn't even really matter. I have to do it as a sorcery. But this gets rid of the clue and the creatures. They have 2 cards in hand, though. So, like, they're favored from here. And, of course, this means I don't get to use my Momentum Breaker. So, that's 4 life that might matter. Okay, fetch. They may run out of fetchables, but they should still have basics in their deck. Lily? Him? Hopefully this does something. They fetch. They're probably just going to, like, Brainstorm. Oh, they bend Atraxa, and now Reanimate wins. Yeah, I don't think... Well, let's play it out. No, I don't think we win. I'm so sick of playing against this deck. No offense. No offense to the people playing this extremely offensive deck, but like I just don't want to play it anymore. I played against it for 2 years, basically. Ever since it was discovered that you could Yeah, anyway, I'll spare you. Okay, so Leyline comes in for sure. I think it's just like you should just do it, frankly. Cards that are not very good. I mean, like pretty much our entire deck is decent against them. Nothing really jumps out as like, oh, we should definitely not play that. Because they have lots of creatures. They have, you know, their graveyard strategy. They have Borrower. They can just borrow Leyline back to the hand, but I do think it's correct to bring it in. If anything could be boarded out, maybe Karn, but then, like, how do we win? I'm not boarding in Baragorn because they just Thoughtseize it and then they reanimate it. That's not how we win. Sadly, it's not an avenue for us. Lily is kind of bad because they have Bowmasters in their deck. We could board one of those out. I don't know. It feels bad to board her out, but it's like Bowmaster just solos this card. Momentum Breaker feels pretty good. How are we winning? I think we're just winning by screwing them on mana, basically. That's getting a Leyline out. I don't know how we win this matchup. It feels pretty unwinnable just when I'm theory crafting it in my mind. Like, what would I do? How do you beat this deck? Because they attack on so many different angles. You have to bring in Leyline, even though they barely play. They may very well be boarding out much of their graveyard strategy. This does keep what's-his-face off the table, though, Oculus. I think Trinisphere is good. I'm just going to take the breakers, I guess. Yeah, let's do it. So Breaker's bad because they have Bowmaster. A lot of this matchup is, you know, revolves around the fact that they have Bowmaster, and it undermines a lot of what we're trying to do. I mean, I guess I keep this hand. I think it'd be foolish not to. They're not going to have the graveyard strategy. Yeah, I mean, like, mulling this would be a huge mistake in my opinion. But it's not a great hand. Okay, so I'll just castle, and I'll hope that they don't have waste. And Dark Rit becomes, like, land is our best draw, but Dark Rit becomes, like, our second best draw. They're probably going to waste Thoughtseize. So they'll probably take Lily. The rest of our deck doesn't do a lot. Like this, now Spellbomb. We're just going to draw through it, basically. I'm just going to do it now so I don't give them any Bowmaster equity. I can't, they're not going to be playing, like, Chain of, or whatever, Echoing Truth or anything like that, so I'll just draw through it. Okay, another like Lily. Hopefully they don't Thoughtseize again. We have a lot of lands. We have Dark Rit. They have Force. They're almost certainly going to be playing Force here. Tommy. Brainstorm immediately. Yeah, I think we're going to lose this, unfortunately. We do have Felmire, but it costs 4 mana. And, I mean, they get a 0 value there, but we like Bowmaster would be good, but they might very well have Bowmaster or their own removal. They probably did board out the removal. Did we play a Bowmaster last game? I don't think we did, so they wouldn't have seen it. All right, do you have the days? Wow. I'm just going to discard the Crucible. I want to get going. I don't... Okay, they put an Oculus in the exile, so this did do a roll. I just wish it was one of them instead of 3 of them. Or 2 of them is probably the perfect amount. Okay, they're going to waste this here. So now we need to draw Dark Ritual plus Felmire over the next 2 draw steps. And then we need them to not have a counterspell, which they probably don't because they didn't counter Lily. That's a start. That's not really a start, actually. If she were printed today, she would say creature or planeswalker. So, like, we're definitely due for a power crept Lily. Yeah, Bowmasters. Pretty good. Barrow, also quite good. Yeah, Lily's going to draw. Yeah, this game's so over. I don't know what we draw. Like, even if we dealt with Tommy, what are we going to do? Yeah, so I have a different version of POX that I'll play in a future video that I think is probably better disposed against this. Yeah, this doesn't matter. Good game. Okay. So let's take a look at the list. First, this is like a terrible matchup for everything because it's a broken deck. They've been banning stuff out of it, but I think they still need to ban more stuff. I'm not confident that they will, but I think they should. This deck is still the best deck in the format. It's better than Blue Black Tempo. I refuse to play it, but I do believe it is better than Blue Black Tempo. So that was a 2-3, losing to Blue Black Reanimator. Blue Black Reanimator, losing to Moonstomp, or not Moonstompy. We beat Painter, and then losing to Black White due to my punt. Frankly, like I don't think that's a great matchup, but I do think we had a decent chance against Loggy SD and their Deadguy Ale brew. So changes to the deck. I don't know that we need to make any. Like Ghost Quarter never came up. I liked Karn Sylex a lot. It came up a lot. a lot of times our opponents were just able to play around it, but a lot of that might have been them getting lucky. And we didn't ever have a blowout where it was like Dark Ritual, Karn Sylex. Oh, my only land is a fetch. Actually, I think we did have one of those. So I think it did come up. And also, I love this art. It looks so badass. The guy with the, like, you can tell he just finished, like, you know, building that, but he's wearing his, like, Ironworker. I don't know. It's cool art. I'll show you the other list that I played. And again, like, I recorded it, and unfortunately, the audio sounded terrible, so I re-recorded, but this is the list. So how is this list different? We'll note that we're not playing Karn Sylex, we're playing a bunch of fetches, and we're playing 4 main deck Nethergoyf. So we have a little bit more of an aggressive game. And this did pretty well. I did 2 leagues with it, and I 3-2'd both of them, which is not phenomenal. But, I mean, we're playing POX. And also, this is no reserve list POX. Okay? Like, you want to play, like, fancy POX with, like, Mox Diamonds and Bayous and all that stuff, Lone POX. I think Lone POX is probably better, but you're not going to be able to build. Like, you might want to get a Tabernacle. You know, it's like you're paying like $5,000 for that deck, probably. Tons of reserve list cards. But if you just want to stick in Mono Black, this build is about the same price as the build we played today. 4 Nihilus Spellbombs main deck, so you don't need to lean as heavy on Leyline, but there are the Leylines there. A little bit better anti-combo in these Unmasks. And just 3 Barragoyfs instead of 4. Opposition Agent has been underperforming for me. I don't know that Opposition Agent is a great card right now. It seems like a lot of the decks that should care about Opposition Agent just, like, you know, plow or push and move on with the day. Yeah, she hasn't been locking anybody out of anything for me. But Karn Sylex did. So take that, Oppo Agent. Karn Sylex is better. But then this isn't playing Karn. This is still playing the 4 Lilies. But then you have to ask, okay, is this really any better? Like, yeah, you're playing Smallpox. And Smallpox is fine with Nethergoyf because you keep bringing him back. I brought him back like 4 times one match. It was crazy. I just kept bringing him back. He's great. He's great in a Pox deck. But it is like a non-traditional Pox deck. Nobody's played this list, and I wanted to play something that was more representative of what people are actually playing. But you can get like Surveillance in here because you can fetch. You're not just drawing swamps all the time, which, you know, swamps are really resilient. But I was like, okay, I'm really excited about the you know, slot machine that is the draw for turn, which is the only draw I'm going to get in this deck. And oh, it's just another swamp. It's one of my 15 freaking swamps. You know, are we playing 15? We're playing 15. Yeah. So I would say this is like the more traditional build. But if you want me to play a league with this more like turbo-ish, it's kind of a hybrid. And then I'll show you the Mono Black deck that I've been playing, which I do like a lot. I think it's really good. And this, I'm also going to film a league with Cecil from Final Fantasy VII. I'm not convinced it's a good card, but I will film a league with it. I think Stalactite Stalker sucks, and I've been trying to think of something to replace it with. But, I mean, if you want to stay aggro, you have to keep the Stalactite Stalker. If you want to go turbo, yeah, you need to keep Stalactite Stalker. But if you want to go more controlling, there might be some better options. Barragoyf, the difference between like a Stalactite Stalker and a Barragoyf is so immense. But we're already maxed out on Barragoyfs, and there aren't really any other creatures that are on Barragoyf's level at the 3-drop slot. But you could go there. There aren't really any other good options. I mean, the reason this is in there is it's just this is the first thing you cut from the deck. Anyway, why am I talking about this in a POX video? I don't know. I'm just sharing random thoughts. I hope you're enjoying it. Let's take another look at this glorious deck. Sideboard felt fine. I mean, you have to dedicate 4 cards to the Karn. I don't want to dedicate any more than that. You can always get a Disruptor Flute if you need to. This card is good. It's a general purpose card. It's not great. Ripping Dark Ritual continues to be an insane card. I think Dark Ritual is what makes Mono Black viable. And Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize was clutch the entire league. It saved us so many times. Even we lost against 12 Post. Even that match, you know, Thoughtseize felt great when we were Thoughtseizing him. That was the one that got away. I think that was the one where, like, it was a bad matchup, but we easily could have won if, you know, maybe if I sequenced differently. So please do leave a comment with a timestamp about my feedback on my play on that match specifically. And if you're a seasoned POX player and you're like, this list is garbage, why are you playing this stuff? This is just my sensibilities, right? Like I'm all about like minimizing the bad cards. Like I'm not going to play cute cards like freaking, I mean, let's take a look at a typical POX list real quick. So we can see that about 1 in 200 decks that are ranking, it's 5%, 0.5% of the meta. And if we look at like this, I think this is a pretty typical list. This came in first at a 6-player tournament. And you see like they actually, this is not very typical. Let's take a look at it. I believe this is a more typical one. 15th at like a 50-person tournament. 20-person. It's not a great archetype. It's a fun archetype, but it's not great. Like, you're not going to see it perform very well at the top tables. But they're doing like, they have to play Urborg because they're playing like Mutavault and like a lot of tech lands, Urza Sagas, and you will get a lot of situations where you're like, oh damn, the Urza Saga, but I don't have 3 lands. This just is a mana source that goes away. I think Urza Saga is great in Ancient Tomb decks. I'm not convinced that it belongs in a POX deck. I do think the Baragorf, Nethergoyf, and Bowmaster are better options there. But you can see that they're playing Sudden Edict, which I think the card that I'm playing is way better than Sudden Edict. True, this can't be countered, but like Momentum Breaker seemed a lot stronger, and also it is synergy with Baragorf. But like they're doing lots of like random kind of jank cards, like Currency Converter. Really, you want to be drawing that? Curse Scroll. This is an oldie but goodie. This is reserve list, by the way. I can't play this. Inscribed Tablet. I'd never heard of it before. This is basically like a kind of like mana costing Once Upon a Time. And then, yeah, they're doing the 4 Karn. I think 4 Karn's too many. I think you just want 2 because you'll draw them a lot when you don't want to draw them in multiples. And then Shadow Spear is really good. I think Shadow Spear is fine. Retrofitter Foundry is fine, but what this is missing is freaking Karn Sylex, which is pretty good if you're going to be doing this type of deck. I don't have any other real feedback on it. I think the archetype, like, I'd love suggestions for what to play here, but I think it's fine. Mono Black Pox is fun, but if you want to win a tournament, do Mono Black creatures would be my humble assessment. And again, I'll show you that list again. I'll go ahead and advertise. The next video you should watch should be one of my Mono Black aggro lists, because I think this is really solid. Like, this is really, really solid. Like, I think this is like blue-black tempo solid. And I think it's kind of a sleeper because there are a lot of meaningful decisions that you make playing this list. But again, Stalactite Stalker is kind of stinky. Like, we'll see whether Cecil gets there, but yeah. Oh, also note that I played a league with 14 cards earlier in my sideboard. That was embarrassing. I totally forewent having like the 3rd Torpor Orb. I'm not sure why the Torpor Orb's in here, but it is pretty good against like Death and Taxes style lists. And you could definitely, if you're playing the list that I played today, you could bring in a Torpor Orb. It would stop your Bowmaster initial ping, but it would still be pretty good. So like if we take a look at this list here, there's not a lot of room. Yeah, actually, I don't think there's room for Torpor Orb here. It is one of those, like, you could play one. It's one of those cards that you don't get, like, benefit from redundant Torpor Orbs. If you're going to do it, you might as well get, like, the good art, which I believe is this one. It's just not rendering for some reason. Yeah, so I guess just use the art that works. Yeah. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.